Good evening, students. Ajarn John here again. I hope you are all well and that you have had a nice day. Mine has been a little bit trying, T-R-Y-I-N-G, beginning this morning with a 4-hour meeting. Not a really interesting meeting, but a committee meeting at my condo. And although essential, it's really hard work to spend 4 hours listening to other people talking mostly about the same issues. And to make it a little bit more difficult for me, it was almost all in Thai, so that is extremely hard going for me. Anyway, you don't want to spend all of your time listening to my woes, W-O-E-S. Let me tell you about a story which happened a couple of days ago when I was walking in my local park. At the moment there seems to be an invasion of students from King Mongkut, North Bangkok, who are looking for Farangs to interview as part of their English course. So on Friday I think I did 4 different interviews with different groups. Quite happy to play the guinea pig, G-U-I-N-E-A and P-I-G. I should explain that this has 2 meanings. There is a small animal called a guinea pig, but the meaning I am intending here is someone used as the subject of an experiment. So we have all these groups of students wandering around with microphones or iPhones, recording conversations with tourists mostly, to ask them some questions. I have been observing these groups for a long time because the park next to my condo, Santichai Brigan in the Pra Atit Road, is a popular hunting area for the students. I guess because they know they're going to find lots of tourists sitting around in the park with their backpacks, maybe waiting for a flight home or to another destination. So I frequently get approached by these students. They have a special technique of their own. They furtively, F-U-R-T-I-V-E-L-Y, creep around the park, creep, C-R-E-E-P, a bit like a cat stalking a bird or another small animal, stalking, S-T-A-L-K-I-N-G. It looks kind of funny, but actually I know what's going on in their minds. They are quite afraid and reluctant to approach a stranger, perhaps fearing a negative response. So they are trying to both pluck up the courage, P-L-U-C-K and up, as well as find a suitable victim. Then, having found their victim, they will say something like, "Excuse me, we are students from this university, and do you mind if we ask you a few questions?" And the questions are always monotonously the same. Monotonous, M-O-N-O-T-O-N-O-U-S. The questions are always something like, where do you come from? How long have you been in Thailand? Where are you going next? What do you like best about Thailand? What kind of Thai food do you like? Etc., etc. And the students usually read their questions from a piece of paper and don't bother to go further into the conversation when the foreigner answers the question. It seems kind of ineffective and useless as a form of learning English. But when I ask these students what are they doing this for, they usually say to be able to become braver at speaking with foreigners. Well, that may be true, but I think it would be much better if they just try to involve themselves in a more natural conversation with the tourists, especially to try to make it interesting. This is going to be both more interesting for the tourist and for the students. I often hear the tourists complaining about the monotony of the questions. Actually, I think this is potentially quite a good way of practicing English while at the same time having some interesting experience with foreigners traveling in Thailand. But I think generally the students don't make full use of the situation. I guess because of their timidity, T-I-M-I-D-I-T-Y. Actually, they should have more temerity, T-E-M-E-R-I-T-Y. Temerity would be very good for these students. So these two guys you can see in the picture who actually interviewed me in the Khao San Road, I had a brief conversation with after we had finished the English interview, and using my voice recorder I did a brief interview in Thai, which you can listen to now. ผมชื่อจอห์นผมเป็นอาจารย์สอนภาษาอังกฤษและคุณครับ
ผมชื่อแทนครับผมเป็นนักศึกษาจากมหาวิทยาลัยรังสิตครับ
ตอนนี้เราอยู่ที่โคแสนแล้วก็กำลังทำอะไรอยู่
ผมกำลังมาสัมภาษณ์ฝรั่งเกี่ยวกับอินเตอร์วิวครับผมเกี่ยวกับสัมภาษณ์เกี่ยวกับ20ข้อเกี่ยวกับทั่วไปฮะเรื่องทั่วไป
คุณคุยกับกี่คนแล้วคนต่างชาติกี่คนแล้ว
น่าจะประมาณ 7-8 คนนะครับนอกจากที่เข้าสารก็ยังมีที่อื่นที่เคยไปคุย
ที่อื่นด้วย
ใช่
คุณชอบทำแบบนี้ไหมช่วยคุณเรียนภาษาอังกฤษไหม
ผมว่าดีครับเพราะว่าถ้าเรารู้จักกล้าแล้วไปพูดกับฝรั่งมันจะช่วยเราพูดภาษาอังกฤษได้เก่งขึ้นใช่ครับผมเป็นความกล้าอะไรอย่างนั้นนะ
นอกจากนั้นคุณมีเพื่อนคนต่างชาติไหม
เคยมีเพื่อนคุยทาง Facebook ครับผมแต่ไม่เคยเจอตัวจริงเลย
Facebook ผมคิดว่าคุณแค่พิมพ์ใช่ไหมไม่ใช่คุยกันแท้
ๆพิมพ์ครับผมใช้การพิมพ์ฮะ
ผมคิดว่า Facebook ไม่ค่อยดีสำหรับเรียนภาษาอังกฤษเรียนจากMP3 หรือวิดีโออาจจะดีกว่าแล้วก็คุณชอบอะไรเวลาคุณไปเที่ยวคุณชอบทำอะไรบ้าง
ชอบไปเที่ยวที่ไหนบ้างก็ของผมก็ชอบไปเที่ยวห้างมากกว่าหรือไม่ก็ทะเลครับผม
ห้างหรือทะ
เลภูเก็ตอะไรเงี้ยฮะ
ภูเก็ตเสม็ดพังงาพัทยา
หลายที่
นะ
ผมไม่ค่อยชอบทะเลแต่ผมไปเป็นบางครั้งผมชอบพวกเขามากกว่าที่ไม่มีคนเท่าไหร่โอเคขอบคุณมากนะครับ
ผมขอบคุณมากครับ